Have a video of one of the workers here,
I think it's the worker.
the worker at the residence, and this worker is doing a very fine job. What we have here is a shaker bench, professionally made,
Makes it sound like it came out of the oven.
and we are putting on some special, very, very special coating on it. And this is called Varathane Fast Dry Min Wax, and it's really lovely stuff. So if you're ever doing any urethane, this would be the brand that I would recommend. In fact, so would the worker here.
Yes, absolutely.
How do you feel about this urethane?
I love it. Love it.
Is it as good as the last urethane you used?
Almost.
And what's the difference in this urethane and the other urethane?
The other urethane was darker.
I see.
But
Well,
this is working out marvelously.
okay, good. You seem to be doing a nice job here. Do you have any points for the folks at home?
Just be patient and don't put it on too thick, because then it's just going to be tacky.
I see. How many coats do we think we need on this?
Well, I'm thinking 2 is probably going to be sufficient. We'll have to let it dry completely because we're going to have to do just a really mild sanding in between coats.
Oh, that's very interesting. Sanding in between.
That's so it'll be tacky so the Varathane will take.
Huh.
So, there you go. That's your lesson for today.
I see. Well, you're doing a very fine job, and really appreciate you doing this.
Certainly.
And
And keep stirring your
Oh.
product while you're working. You don't want this
oh, wow.
stuff to
See,
settle to the
Now
bottom.
that's a very important step that I think a lot of people would forget
See?
to do.
Don't be afraid to stop and just give it a little stir to make sure it stays completely emulsified.
That's a very nice word. Emulsified. That is the word of the day, folks. Emulsified. And if you want to learn how to spell it, you need to go to Google, and then you just push the speaker and say emulsified. See what comes up. I'm not sure. Do you know how to spell emulsified, ma'am?
Not right off the top of my head. I'm kind of concentrating.
Okay. Well, that's in the next session here. We will get the spelling for emulsified, and if that doesn't work, we'll use another word like stirred up, which is actually the word I like to prefer to use. But depending on if you're on the East Coast, you might want to use emulsified. If you're on the West Coast, stirred up works just fine, and everyone knows what you mean. Okay.
I'm glad we got that squared away.
We did. I'm really looking forward to getting a little coat going on here with that cross-cut
Oh.
stripe down the middle.
I'm just about done with this piece, so your wish is going to come true.
And not that I'm rushing you or anything.
No, because as I told you earlier, you need patience.
Patience is the number one thing. Now it's really bringing out the wood grain nicely. You can see that. And this is just the first coat, so by the time we get 2 coats on this. And when we're done, we'll show the thing all put back together, because it's really quite a lovely.
Okay, are you ready?
And we're ready now. Beautiful. And we do have our nice Nike lime green shoes on today, which is very sturdy. Keep your feet so that you're not going to slip while you're doing this.
Wow, that looks pretty. Look at that.
It's turning out nice. Bringing out a little bit of the wood grain and then the dark grain. Very, very nice. Well, I'll just get another couple coats of this, and this will be the end of our first session. And our next session, we will show you the completed piece, and then we'll show you how to assemble it.
Oh, yes.
And it's really quite easy, so I know that most of you are going to want to have one of these. And they're, as you can see, they're only 4 pieces of wood. And 4 flat pieces of wood that are joined together into this beautiful shaker bench that has no nails. And it is actually a great project for anyone that has a little bit of wood working knowledge. And I would say, what would you say this would be on 1 to 10 as a?
I would say it's probably a 3.5.
Yes, and that's really close. I was thinking like a 4, but depending again, 3.5, 4. But it's certainly something most people can do. There's a couple little issues with the
Little handwork.
joints here, and when I put it together, you'll have a better idea the squares and how they fit with the corners. But other than that, it's pretty straightforward. It's just getting those joints to fit in so that you can assemble it. A couple angles here, very slight, and there's the other 2 pieces that are the legs. So I think we'll wrap this up now for first session. And before I go, is there anything you'd like to say, worker?
I'm just thanks for tuning in, and we're looking forward to having you back when the piece is almost complete.
Okay, and there we go. We are signing out.